Hi, welcome back to Cheyenne, Wyoming Urban Gardener. This is Debbie, and you can tell what I have been doing. I have been harvesting the carrots. We're in Garden Zone 5A, 5B here in Cheyenne, Wyoming, right in downtown, outside of an old Victorian house. So you can see the Victorian house here. We've already got some of our Halloween decorations up. We do decorate for Halloween. I cannot keep the little covers on our outside lights. I've tried and tried, so it looks like I'm going to have to tie them on somehow or the other. And you can see our broccoli is enormous. This is the purple sprouting broccoli. It is actually taller than my grandson, and my grandson's over 4 feet tall. I would try to give you some kind of a comparison, but trying to record myself and the broccoli and everything else is a little difficult. We have a couple of cabbage that are ready. I'm going to be harvesting because tonight we are supposed to have a frost. We are on October 4th, 2023, and we are supposed to get a frost tonight. So we are harvesting the last of the carrots, actually just me. It's very difficult to get people to come out and help, honestly, when you're gardening. But I enjoy doing it, so I'm out here harvesting. These are red giant carrots and Parisian oxheart carrots. And I want to show you the size. There's my hand, and it's very dirty. Look at the size of these carrots. I wanted a carrot that was absolutely huge. And yes, they are kind of teardrop shape, but they get enormous. You can actually cut these up. They make the best julienne carrots because they have such a uniform size. We have a few of them that are small, but that's just because the soil got so compact. But for the most part, these carrots are just absolutely enormous. We do try to get as much of the dirt off as we can, but we do not really wash them because we want them to cure a little bit, just like you would a potato, and then we store them. This one became kind of triangular shaped, so absolutely huge carrots. Let me show you the red giants. And they're just orange, but they just call them red giant. I don't know why. But they are just as big as those Parisian oxhearts, just longer. Look at that. Nice big carrots. And that's not even the biggest. There are some in here that are just flat, enormous. And look at the size of this Parisian oxheart. And that one's almost golf ball shaped. But just enormous carrots. This was one row, and I actually thinned these quite heavily in comparison with my other carrots. I harvested the other carrots. They were not quite this big, but they were nice sized carrots, and they will work just fine. But we have quite a lot of these really large carrots. I think I only had one that broke of these. The rest of them all came out pretty nice. There was only 2 or 3 in here that were small. The rest of them are just enormous carrots. And you're supposed to actually take all the tops off of these. And again, you can use the tops to make a carrot pesto, and it works kind of like basil, just strongly carrot flavored pesto. And then you're supposed to store these in a crate if you can, with some sand or sawdust. You can use sawdust as well. Just make sure that it's dry. And then you can store them in a basement, and you can store them all winter long. Unfortunately, I do not have either crates nor sand. You can see my soil is just soil, so we don't really have sand here, and I do not have access to sawdust. So unfortunately, we're just going to have to try to overwinter these as best we can in just a box in our basement and see if we can overwinter them. If I start to see any of them that get any places on them or anything like that, then I will pull them out and get them to the refrigerator. And then they should keep in a refrigerator for sometimes longer than 3 months, especially in Cheyenne, Wyoming, because our humidity is really, really low. So you can see that giant pile of carrots right there. Then I've got this giant pile of carrots right here. And then I have an entire bowl full of carrots here. Some of them are the red giants. You can definitely tell the difference between those and the Nantes. We have Nantes in there. And there's a couple of red carrots and some yellow carrots and things like that, but none of them are as big as those red giants and the Parisian ox hearts. And you can see I'm still getting landscape fabric out of my garden. Some attached to my, I wouldn't call that a pitchfork. That's kind of like just a garden fork. But it took that to try to get these out of here because I did put them a lot deeper this season than I ever have before. And it seemed to have really worked because they had plenty of soil to grow in. And they're nice straight carrots. I think I only had a couple of them that turned out some weird shapes, but for the most part, even with the compact soil as it was, you can tell there's been some large chunks that I took out of there. Even with the compact soil, those guys just broke right through it and continue to grow into these enormous sizes. So we've got a very, very good carrot harvest this year. I'm so happy about that. Highly unusual for me. Usually I have medium-sized carrots best, but this year I actually just went in and really tried to make sure I thinned the carrots. I really took care of the carrots well and just left them as long as I possibly could. I would leave them all winter long, which is what you can do. It's kind of on the cusp of being able to do that here. But oftentimes we have our soil freeze solid for several inches up to even 2 feet deep here in Cheyenne. So I did not want to risk it of having the carrots freeze. I have had some overwinter, but not all of them. So I just don't want to risk that. We're just going to go ahead and harvest them. So anyway, that is the carrot harvest this season. I hope everybody's had a great harvest wherever you're at. And we're at the end here in Cheyenne, Wyoming, because we're going to get frost tonight. And it will pretty much take care of almost everything in the garden except for the brassicas, lettuces, and things like that. Those will continue to grow right on through it. So anyway, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell for notices on new videos as they come out. And we will see you in the next one.